Morning, Annika, and thank you very much for being on Morning News today. This morning, Prasa doesn't seem to be out of news. There is a new board in place. One wonders what kind of turnaround strategies they'll be coming up with.
Yes, Dan, one of the big problems that Prasa is facing is that it hasn't submitted its 2016-2017 annual financial report yet to Parliament. It's 8 months late, and the new Transport Minister, Blade Nzimande, said that it was unacceptable that Prasa hadn't submitted its report. Speaking at the sidelines of a transport conference in Germany last month, he said that Prasa is wasting money and losing money like an ATM. So while there is an interim board in place, there hasn't been a permanent board since Lucky Montana was fired in 2015. And the new minister, Blade Nzimande, will be there today along with the interim Prasa board.
Now, that interim Prasa board is chaired by Kanyisile Kweyama. We saw a few months ago she was also the interim board chair of the SABC. One wonders if, the public enterprise minister is trusting her as a Mrs. Fix-It of sorts.
Well, it's certainly true that when she was sitting on that interim board, she brought some sort of stability to the SABC. And so I think that one of the aims that Blade Nzimande has, he certainly expressed, is to bring stability to Prasa before he can start fixing it. The Transport Portfolio Committee, of which he is going to be appearing before, has said that they intend to launch an inquiry into controversial so-called corrupt deals at the Rail Passenger Agency. Remember, Thuli Madonsela's report outlined that corruption, and it still hasn't been investigated. But, and dare I use the cliche, Nzimande may be on some sort of collision course with his interim board today, because he has appointed Collins Letswalo as a non-executive board member. Now, Letswalo was on the board before, and it said that he increased his salary from 1.7 million to, wait for it, 5.9 million rand a year. That's 380% that he gave himself, and he's now apparently demanding, according to Sunday newspaper reports, a chauffeur and unlimited calls on a company cell phone. So we don't know if Mrs. Kweyama is happy about that, but certainly we'll question them when they appear before the Transport Portfolio Committee.
And Annika, as you alluded to in the beginning, they've delayed in presenting their latest financial statements. You've mentioned the word stability that Ms. Kweyama is known for, but I guess the flip side of that is accountability, which seems to be lacking at Prasa.
And partly to blame for that, when you look at all the SOEs, not just in transport but at public enterprises, is the failure of Parliament to do its oversight properly, and B, this problem of interim boards. Prasa hasn't had a permanent board since 2015 and the whole Lucky Montana saga. Much like the other SOEs, they don't have permanent board members, which means that you can do some sort of dodgy deal and you can just move off either to another board at another SOE, or you just disappear into the public space, into another corporate, and there's just no accountability. So nothing seemingly has been done in terms of Thuli Madonsela's derailed report. Transport Committee is meant to have launched that inquiry. In fact, they were going to start discussing it last week. But I think because of the closing of Parliament early, they didn't manage to get round to it. But certainly, Nzimande is going to have to do a deep dive and start opening up that cyst and get out all that toxicity so that he can move forward in fixing Prasa.
Yes, and fixing Prasa means you must also fill executive vacancies in terms of top management, which has also been in a bit of a limbo. Well, we'll await to hear, Annika, how that portfolio committee on transport will go today regarding Prasa, and how Dr. Blade Nzimande is going to justify his appointment of Mr. Litswalo back on that Prasa board. Thank you very much, eNCA's Annika Larsen, speaking to us from Parliament in